Good evening to all. I hope I am audible. I hope I am visible. All of you are able to see me. Good evening to all. It's been a long time that I met your batch. So good evening and a warm welcome to yet another course, another program. We are talking about Indian geography now. India. Get that? Where is it? It's located in the northern hemisphere. So we are starting from the world. So let's do something, like we are standing outside India or धीरे धीरे India में अंदर आते. So we'll start from outside and then we will come on that. ठीक है? So now let's look at this. That if you remember this, I am drawing this. If you want, you can draw with me. If you don't, even then that's okay, but please keep track of what I am doing. So can I say that this is equator? This is equator. India lies north of equator. Yes. And India has an island also. So either be island hai or either be India. Okay. So can I say India is in northern hemisphere? India is a part of Asia. Can I say that? Can I say India is part of South Asia? Is everyone okay? So, pehla, when we are talking of our country, we'll start with this India. Where is it located? Okay, that. So, can I say India is in northern hemisphere? Which hemisphere vis-a-vis the Greenwich meridian? Can I say eastern hemisphere? Is everyone okay? Now, people who are new, likhna kya hai? So what am I doing? India's location. We are trying to locate India first. We are trying to locate India. We'll try and capture India into certain latitudes and longitudes and then certain things जो हमें fact भी आने चाहिए. आज सिर्फ introduction चल रहा है. That's what we are talking about. Get that? So northern and eastern hemisphere when we are talking about, and can I say India is South Asia? India is South Asia. And can I also say India is sort of divided from rest of Asia? Yes. Can I say India is divided? So northern hemisphere, eastern hemisphere, part of South Asia, whatever I am writing, you can keep writing. These are the highlights about the location. So I've learned how to make map from that YouTube channel. बिल्कुल ऐश्वर्या वर्मा, अंजलि श्रोतिया, सचिन अरोरा, वो दो वीडियोस आपके काम के, इसलिए आई कीप ऑन इंसिस्टिंग दैट यू डू दैट ऑल्सो. उसी पर जाएंगे. द सेम चैनल यूट्यूब चैनल विल गिव यू एवरीथिंग. नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर, ईस्टर्न हेमिस्फीयर, साउथ एशिया. कैन आई ऑल्सो से साउथ एशिया, वेरी डिस्टिंक्ट, unique location. So what is distinct and unique about it? Let us look at this. Distinct or unique kya hai? Sir, please say something. I am feeling very demotivated from 1 month. Start your geography, bachche. Everything will come back. Don't worry. Class mein participate karo. Action is an antidote to demotivation. Action mein aa jao. Kya dikkat hai? theek hai? So that's what we are talking about. So अब हम इसमें unique location की क्या बात करें? First of all, we are detached from rest of Asia. We are detached from rest of Asia. So physiographically, we have a very, very formidable barrier in the northern part. So can I say formidable mountainous barrier? ये सब लिखते रहेंगे सब कुछ. Formidable mountain barrier in north. Yes. And what do we have in south? Massive ocean in the south. Massive ocean in south. So compared to other land masses, we have a very unique location. It is not easy to access India through sea and through that also. So it was very, very unique, and this area has evolved its own unique, can I say, culture, society, economy, politics, and since the ancient times. होगा कि नहीं? इंडिया एज अ कंट्री, इज इट लार्ज इनफ? इज इट लार्ज इनफ? तो हमने देखा इसके नीचे कौन सा ओशन? इंडियन ओशन. द ओनली कंट्री विच हैज एन ओशन नेम्ड आफ्टर इट, which has an ocean named after it, Indian Ocean. Himalayas, the mightiest, highest and the youngest fold mountain, ये भी यहीं पर है. And in size, when we are talking about that, India is the ranking क्या है जल्दी से बताइए, area wise, what is the size? अभिनव ने कहा seventh largest. So world geography में which is the largest? रशिया, कनाडा, यूएसए और चाइना का आपस में चलता रहेगा. यूएसए, चाइना. आफ्टर दैट यूएसए, चाइना. आफ्टर दैट जल्दी से ऑस्ट्रेलिया, ब्राजील एंड देन इंडिया. इज एवरीवन विद मी ऑन दिस? क्लियर? सो हम कितना हो गए? 7th हो गए. ब्राजील, ऑस्ट्रेलिया इधर डाल लो, नो प्रॉब्लम. वी आर द 7th. तो ये 7 वैसे भी याद रखने, 7 याद रखने. इज एवरीवन ओके विद दिस? तो 7th लार्जेस्ट, वो थोड़ा स्क्रीन कट रहा है, forget that, this is important. We are talking about the 7th largest. Is everyone okay? I'm more interested. So we are not a small country. And can I also say, अब इसके आगे भी जा रहे कुछ लोग, अर्जेंटीना भी बताएंगे. अर्जेंटीना के बाद फिर कहां जाएंगे? कजाकिस्तान भी जाएंगे, फिर अल्जीरिया भी जाएंगे. आई रिमेंबर वर्ल्ड ज्योग्राफी में हम वो कर चुके. वी हैव डन द टॉप 10. अब नहीं वो करना. 7th largest, so it's not a small country. Can I say we are amongst the top 4 economies of the world? Yes, and we are the most populous. So when we are talking about India, we are very, very clear that its location is unique. It is located at the pivot, PIVOT, या head भी लिख सकते हैं, head of Indian Ocean. Now some of you might find, सर ने इतना सारा चीजें यहीं पे कचरा कर दिया. आप तो अपने सेंटेंस में लिख सकते. You can write it. Is everyone okay? चलो focus on this. Most populated. So most populated gives us a huge workforce, and the good thing is यहां पे most populous में young population. Young population is an economically productive group, provided हम उन्हें नौकरी दे पाए. जैसे बात नौकरी की होती है, वो बोलता है छोकरी दे दो. So focus should be on constructive engagement. So one thing when we are talking about, we are not talking about any given country. छोटी मोटी देश की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. We are talking about a major important civilizational country or region for that matter. तो इंडिया को कंट्री कहने की जगह और आगे की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो इट इज मच मोर. मैं कहूंगा सिविलाइजेशनली, एंशिएंट सिविलाइजेशन डाल दूं मैं, एंशिएंट सिविलाइजेशन. So what do I mean by ancient civilization? One reason which I can tell all of you is कि भाई ये ancient होने की वजह से the history of peopling, सोचिएगा, let me write the phrase history of peopling is long. आप यूं समझिए कि 14th-15th सेंचुरी कोलंबस रीचेज नॉर्थ अमेरिका. उसके बाद जो है फिर नॉर्थ अमेरिका में पॉपुलेशन है. तो कितना हिस्ट्री हुआ नॉर्थ अमेरिका का पॉपुलेशन का? 500 years. Yes or no? 500 से थोड़ा सा ज्यादा. बट व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस एरिया, when we are talking about the Indus Valley civilization, तब से यहां पर लोग हैं, तब से this has been a population center. So when we are talking about that India is the most populous country and China is the second most populous one, please understand these two countries also have one of the oldest civilizational histories. So there has been a history of peopling over here. बहुत से लोग पहले ही रहते थे, धीरे धीरे वो numbers बढ़े हैं. That is where it has come to. So I've revised general world geography more than 8 times. That's perfectly okay. Sir, answer नहीं लिखा जा रहा. Answer पे तो यार, answer is a different thing. Answers start where the teachers and the books stop. Why Indian government is not focusing on youth population? Amit Yadav, ये सब डिबेट का कोई फायदा नहीं है. I think the government, every government for that matter, is focusing on their population. यूथ के लिए जो बातें हैं, बहुत से प्रोग्राम, अगर आप सरकार के प्रोग्राम देखे लगे, सरकार गिनाने पे आएगी तो बहुत सारे गिना देगी. बट बात यह है कि यू नो across various governments, the effectiveness of the programs have been missing. Yes or no? The effectiveness of the programs have been missing. और ये मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, almost last 20 years से India's employment scenario hasn't been that great. Why? Because India's is the sector that we are looking towards is more towards service sector or tertiary sector, and manufacturing sector, the secondary sector, has not performed well. So उसमें बहुत job नहीं मिली. So it was a growth which has come, which is unfortunately not coming with higher employment. It is not very labor intensive thing. Number one. So that's the job industry part of it. Second is, are people already trained? So training part is also on the lower side. So rather than saying ये सरकार कुछ क्यों नहीं करती, I think it's a two-way thing. The population as well as the government, they have to go together. तो सरकार के पास नीति होती है, लेकिन नीति के साथ क्या आती है? राजनीति भी आती है. And now तो elections are coming, so you will listen to all the राजनीति of the netas, and these netas will stoop to any level. किसी भी level तक जाकर ये बयानबाजी करने वाले हैं. अभी नोट के लिए और वोट के लिए जो भी लगेगा ये सारी चीज करने वाले हैं. So that is where we are talking about ki, like it has to be a more responsible, politics as well as the people demanding their democratic rights. तो ये दोनों चीजें two way हैं, किसी को blame करना would not be right. Sir, why Himalaya is the mightiest? So Anu is asking this. अब तो हम लोगों ने बच्चों जनरल ज्योग्राफी पढ़ लिया. अब तो we have worked on general geography, yes or no? Have we done plate tectonics? Do we know that Indian plate was the last one, out of all the orogenies? Himalayan orogenies is the latest one, youngest one, and it is still rising. So, ये बात तो हो चुकी है बच्चे. Why aren't you connecting that? Let's come to this. India's location. India is situated in northern hemisphere. It has a maritime location. Maritime word, I want you to keep on looking at these red words. Maritime location means it has a coastal location also. And many of these potentiality owe their existence to the vast size. So we are a very, very big country. That's what we are talking about. And there has been something talked about us. We are called a subcontinent. क्या कहते हैं इंडिया को? Subcontinent. आपने continent सुना? Have you heard about what is continent? Continent है. Continent is huge landmass surrounded on all sides by water is called continent. Small landmass is called island. ये subcontinent क्या होता है? कुछ नहीं होता है. Only India के लिए literary scholars and geopolitics, geoeconomists ने ये term create की है. US की foreign policy में आता है what should be their take on Indian subcontinent. Subcontinent मतलब कि है तो कॉन्टिनेंट का हिस्सा. लेट्स सी ज्योग्राफिकली स्पीकिंग व्हाट आर वी? वी आर अ पेनिनसुला. होना चाहिए कि नहीं? इंडिया शुड बी कंसिडर्ड अ पेनिनसुला, साउथ एशिया. बट एज आई टोल्ड यू फिर से इंडिया की इंपॉर्टेंस, इंडिया की रेलिवेंस, इंडिया की यूनिकनेस इतनी ज्यादा है कि इसको क्या कहा जाता है? सब कॉन्टिनेंट. प्रोफेसर चिसोम, यू कैन ऑल्सो यूज दीज नेम्स. You can also use these names in your answers. Professor Chisom, important person who has his view on that. So उसके बाद उन्होंने कहा कि there is no part of the world better demarcated by nature by itself than the Indian subcontinent. So India को क्या कहा जाता है? Subcontinent. इंडिया में ऑलमोस्ट हर वो चीज है. एक कॉन्टिनेंट में हम क्या पढ़ते हैं? लेट अस लुक एट दिस. व्हाट डू वी रीड इन अ कॉन्टिनेंट? वी रीड a very, very wide and diversified physiography. Mountains, plateaus, plains, India में है. ठीक है. We read a lot about the variation in the atmosphere climate. India has almost all the climatic variation. We read a wide variation of soils and vegetation. India के पास वो भी है. Climate में हम देखते हैं in a continent we see there's a huge history of how people migrated over there, how they lived over there, and what are their numbers. India अकेले में ही इंडिया का सब कॉन्टिनेंट डज नॉट इंक्लूड ओनली इंडिया भाई. आई एम श्योर इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट में और क्या आता है, पाकिस्तान भी आएगा, नेपाल भी आएगा, भूटान भी आएगा, यस, बांग्लादेश भी आएगा. They all are going to come. They all are going to come. So together, if we are looking at this, very, very unique physiography, very unique climate, and has the diversity and the population to match that of a continent. But continent नहीं हो सकता, इतना बड़ा नहीं है. तो हमारे लिए क्या special status मिला? Subcontinent. It is different from other parts of the continent due to its location. बेटा, location, size, the diversity, the peopling, the economy, the geopolitics, geoeconomics, ये सारी चीजें मिलकर बनाते हैं इंडिया को a very very unique location. And to that extent it is not just called an extension of Asia. हम केवल extension of Asia नहीं है, हम लोग क्या कहे जाते हैं, एक पूरा अपने आप में एक लघु महाद्वीप, subcontinent is what we are given the status as.